All right, let's get to the roses or the next morning.
Well, you forgot the fireworks happen outside, so that's supposed to let us know that he probably picks her.
I forgot it.
Right.
Fireworks are pretty symbolic in this phrase.
Yes, they do. Yeah. They symbolize something.
Yeah, like Heather got fireworks.
Oh, really?
In her season, she got fireworks with Colton.
Right.
I guess
it really cements a legacy.
Yeah, I guess it means you're a stalking psychopath.
Okay. Hi, hello, and welcome to another brand spanking new episode of another Bachelor podcast. My name is Dylan. I'm saddled up next to one real Nicholas Davis.
What's going on, everybody?
Pat, producer of the podcast, over there behind my glasses.
How are you, everybody?
I'm not doing too hot. Thought the episode was absolute dog shit, but before I get too aggressive towards this franchise, which I've hated the entire season, but before I get too aggressive, do we have any public service announcements?
Yes, thank you for asking, Dylan. My remarks will be brief as always. All right, so I know we probably got a lot of new listeners coming in on my star-making performance on For Crying Out Loud this past week.
And just to everybody listening, he has been a horror to be around since that star-making performance. I mean, his head is in the clouds. It's like he won an Oscar or something. It's absolutely disgusting.
My agent Brian in our call today, he said it comes with the territory, so don't worry, I'm not hurt by it.
Oh, I've got some news for you, Patrick.
Yeah.
He's dead. But no, and also I just wanted on record that I believe star-making performance on For Crying Out Loud is the funniest phrase one can utter.
Yeah, it's one of the funniest phrases ever uttered by a human being within the context of 2020.
I say it to myself. I'm not kidding.
If I may continue.
Yeah, just be brief.
All right, so I was, I talked about being a father. So by the way, go check out their episode over there if you want to hear me talk about being a dad. Or just listen to us. But if you're coming from there and you're like, I love that Pat guy. Boy, he's funny, witty, sharp. He's really interesting.
Yeah,
then they hear this version of Pat. Just to understand, just give us a few episodes before you unsubscribe.
Okay, I'm done with this PSA.
Yeah. And then after, I want to tell everybody that's been a big fan and a birdie for years and hasn't signed up for that Patreon, next week is our last episode of The Bachelor, and there will be a hiatus, possibly 6 weeks to 4 weeks, to 2 months, and you won't have us in your ears.
Yep.
And I hope this forces your hand to finally pull that trigger on giving us $5, because we have multiple shows over there. If you want to just hear us talk about what's, Meghan Markle or something like that.
It's freaking like 4 Reese's peanut butter cups a month. It's so cheap. It's $5.
I'm excited. We're going to be talking about that interview, the Oprah interview.
Oh, sure. Why not?
Tomorrow.
Yeah. We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
And all that can be found at patreon.com/another podcast network.
Yeah, so go over there. I'm done.
Yes, please do. All righty. I think we can get into the show now.
You don't want to give our thoughts?
No, I mean, that's what I mean. We can, proceed forward with a fan favorite segment called General Thoughts. I'm going to mix it up and I'm going to go first.
Okay.
I don't want to harp on the Matt and his father thing, though it was the biggest kind of explosive moment of the episode tonight. This is one of the reasons why people are getting fed up with The Bachelor. If you want to broach any topic that's sensitive or heavy, I don't have confidence that it can be done successfully on The Bachelor. Maybe it can. To the producers, do better. We can't talk about race or parenting or psychological wounds. With this tone-deaf a manner, the lenses aren't good enough on this show to capture this kind of shit. It's fucking embarrassing every time they try to do it. Either make it a fun show or get a lot better at exploring these serious issues. 12 pots.
Well said. Who goes next?
You.
Okay. Dylan, I'm going to piggyback on that. I can't believe they did this bit with the father.
Yeah.
This is not the type of subject matter that we want to see as viewers of this television show. It's wildly inappropriate. And I might just say, nothing like shaking off a horrible womanizing legacy of his cheating father than banging 3 different girls back to back while they stress if he's going to pick them. Do we see the irony there?
Such a phenomenal point.
For that reason, although I will say it was entertaining, but I felt dirty and disgusting. And whatever producer did this shame on you.
Sure.
And I assume Rachel Lindsay will take issue with you too. And probably have you
Rachel
fired.
had a star-making performance on the Ringers podcast. I was listening earlier today. She said, I'm on a hiatus talking about anything Bachelor related, but, and she talked a lot about The Bachelor.
She always does.
Yeah. Potts?
0.
Nick?
I honestly think as podcasters, we're achieving some sort of singularity where we're all on the same page.
Yeah, the robots are going to kill us, but we'll fight.
And we agree that what we saw tonight was the shameful exploitation of a fractured father-son relationship. And for a bit, I actually felt physically ill watching it.
Oh.
That being said, the episode needed some sort of spice. The rest of it could have headlined Snooze Fest 2021. No problem. And for that, 27 knots.
Playing at the Sahara tent. Matt and Rachel's ceramics, Dave. All right. So we begin with a somber yet helpful Seventh Heaven type riff that will lead us through the candid shots of reflection that we've come to love. We're going through the various girls, and they're talking about how they are ready to spend the rest of their lives as someone who kisses with their eyes open. The girls sit down and are held at gunpoint told to kind of chew the fat about their journey. Then Shitface walks in and lays out how the week is going to go. Pat, do you want to set this up with as close to 0 Tom Likas as possible?
You betcha. All right. So he reminisces about 38 women, and then he gets into how the boom boom room works.
Will you stop real quick? 38. 38 women. Again, you want to try to explore topics of race and, parental fracture? 38 women vying for the attention of one man. That's what this show is.
Right. Well, if I may continue.
Jesus.
Harrison tells the ladies to use the fuck time wisely to talk about where they might live and their future plans for having children. Sure, Chris. Sure.
He said as close to little as Tom Likas as possible, and I think that you nailed it.
Thanks.
That didn't sound anything like him.
Yeah.
All right, so Matt begins with his B-roll, a lot of knee rubbing, and speaks about his fear of commitment because of the man who is about to walk into this room right now. That is his father. Now, most everyone has, dungeons in their mind where a lot of your psychological pain will stem from, whether you recognize it or not. Most people in life do not resolve those issues. Some work on them or, chip away at them, learn to live with them. But completely filling in these grooves is next to impossible. It just doesn't happen.
Dylan, are you saying that talking to his dad for what they might have filmed for 30 minutes, you're saying there's no shot at working this out?
Almost zero.
Oh, okay.
But even rarer than that is resolving the deep-seated psychological wounds with the person that inflicted them upon you. And it's because that person rarely wants to talk about it. This is something that happens in movies.
Great.
Not real life. Usually the person who caused you pain dies. You may forgive them. At least you'll be a little bit less mad because they're dead and you're alive. Bygones be bygones. But no, we don't have these revelations where we hug after and
then
cry.
it's all good.
It doesn't happen.
Dare I say my own tension-filled relationship with my own father, who abandoned me when I was 2 and then frequently popped in and out of my life.
Very sad.
On his deathbed, I flew down there. I told him I loved him. I told him I forgave him. I got on the plane. He died while I was flying back here. He waited till I saw him for the last time to die.
Hilarious stuff, yeah.
But you'd think in the movie I forgave him. No way. Every year or something, I'll see a photo or I'll see a dad playing with his kids in the park and I'll go, that fucking bastard. My point is, even when you think you resolve it, the pain still comes back.
Yeah. You got any thoughts on it? Holy shit, it's so sad. He's like a terrier that got kicked.
I have a bunch of elaborate thoughts, but we'd only dive deeper and darker. So.
Oh, and Nick's. Sorry, Nikki.
Yeah. I had a pretty good childhood. Divorced, but white.
Who isn't?
Affluent. So anyways, this is a prime example of two people who are nowhere near ready to have this conversation, let alone on camera in front of the tens of thousands of people who are still watching this show. Throw in some stereotypical problems facing the black community and absent fatherhood. We've got a pretty dense fucking minefield to walk through here, boys, so let's do it. They sit down. Matt says it's been a while since we've seen each other, to which his father replies, yeah, it's been great.
Dad,
how you been?
Dad the premise wasn't explained to Dad coming on this show intentionally, of course.
He walked into a buzzsaw.
Oh yeah, he was absolutely blindsided. This is the type of hit you used to see on ESPN Monday Night Football halftime show, Jacked Up. Okay. And then they changed the rules, and you don't see these types of hits anymore. But he was blindsided.
I thought you were talking about Reggie Bush getting hit in the backfield.
That's
crawling on his wrists.
I guarantee that was on Jacked Up. Great hit, Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep,
Sheldon Williams, I believe.
I think so. So this is painfully awkward because the father, like we mentioned, seems to be quite chipper about this whole thing. And then he realizes that his son is some type of strange, awful version of Chris Hansen, who's going to bring all of his past ills in front of this camera to the tens of thousands of people who are still watching the show. Really tough stuff.
We see Dad go from a smile to then the lights come on. He's like, oh, this is what this motherfucker brought me here to do.
But he transforms into the severely damaged asshole that he has always been. He's like, hey, hang on a second, you little piece of shit. Do you know what I went through after I fucked a multitude of women who were not your mother? She left. Do you know what I went through?
One thing that should
believe that.
One thing that should be established before talking about this is that you cannot talk about it without saying that Matt should not have done this on national television. As useless as this talk would be at any time,
right?
To ambush him like this is so sickening. And anybody feeling bad for Matt in this situation, he's a pawn. I get it, but Jesus,
pawn. Can I say this is like real bad dad logic? At one point, I don't know if you guys caught this though. He tells Matt, "Hey, I didn't have a dad either. All right, in Africa, my dad was dead when I was 5." And Matt should have responded, "Yes, that was on the other end of a machine gun, Dad. You left just because you wanted to go fuck other women.
Right,
They're completely different things."
Yeah, Civil War and whatnot. Plagues that continent. It's really, really, it's fucking tough, man. It's really tough stuff. But that's why he's so damaged, because that would be horrific to grow up in an environment like that. Your father is killed when you're very, very young, and it can manifest itself in some pretty abhorrent behavior, like fucking other women and then being blown away when your wife leaves you. Mm-hmm. So, God, we get this, hashtag viral joke. You want a celebration? If you wanted a celebration, we'd go to Chuck E. Cheese. We have all of these cringeworthy lines when he's crying. He goes, "I didn't need a pizza. I didn't need shoes."
Matt,
what privilege! God. I would have killed for some pizza and shoes.
Matt had that little turn of phrase worked out in his head. I don't think he stuck the landing on that. It was very confusing about Chuck E. Cheese. I guess we get the sentiment of what he was attempting to say.
Yeah, Dad, he likes he parties with children. Is that what you're?
No, he's forgetting. Matt's forgetting the thing many adults do in this like dream world where you're just gonna go hang out at Chuck E. Cheese. They don't let you in without a child. We've covered it before.
Yeah.
You and your dad could not just walk in there. They would say no.
It's for children. It's for children.
Right.
It's like going to the Discovery Zone and then jumping into the ball pit with a bunch of 4-year-olds.
Except they wouldn't allow you without a child of your own.
The optics. Very concerning.
Good pizza there. Hey, Dad responds to all of this. He quotes Rocky Balboa.
Huh?
And says, when you fall down, you need to get back up.
Yeah, it's about how
and then
hard
he
you
also
get up
quotes,
or
"It was
whatever."
another time where dudes dropped loads, created offspring, and then moved to a different state."
Got it. So with all that said, it was kind of sweet in the end with the piano and him saying, "I'm sorry I hurt you," and then joking about the beautiful game, which is soccer, not basketball. Nick, go fuck yourself. It was as good as an ending as we could have gotten.
Well, it was we don't know if they really resolve. You put a little piano music step on there.
They didn't resolve anything.
Right, they didn't, and it probably made it much worse. Dare I say?
Yeah, the call after the show. Hey, son, what the fuck was that about? What the fuck was that?
Yeah, but man, there's nothing more valuable than an original score to paint the picture.
99-cent royalty-free music. Sorry, I'm talking all over.
No, that's okay. I was first really mad at producers, but this exemplifies what a puppet Matt is. And any world where someone had some self-esteem. Hey, Matt, you realize you can say no to some of these horrible ideas that they're pitching you, right?
Sure. Yeah. It's one thing to say no to subjecting the girls to like shoving pancakes and beer down their gullets. It's another thing to say, yeah, actually, I've been waiting 30 years to have this conversation with my father. I'm going to do it
in a therapy room.
Tens of thousands of people still watching this show.
I am craving pizza.
All right. So now that Matt has shed those insecurities about commitment, should we get to Michelle?
Let's do it.
Pennsylvania Dutch Spa Day, everybody. The Dutch are a strange people. Turns out there's a tradition of them robbing cattle of their elixir and bathing in it. It's a real slap in the face to the cows, this whole thing was. Also really disgusting.
I thought it was hot.
Okay, they rub their feet in oatmeal, they smack each other's asses with branches and all that rich dairy fun, but this doesn't feel good between them. I'm really shocked that she's, spoiler alert, going into the last episode because there just doesn't feel like there's anything here.
I love Michelle. I think she's being 100% authentic in her real self, just kind of taken in. She's a normal person with a real job, loves kids, good person. And I just think, I don't know, I just think she's kind of in this.
Yeah, she's a good person.
However, Matt is a fucking liar. Did you catch this? When they walk into the tin bath, she says, "What is this?" He says, "I got no clue." She said, 5 minutes ago, you were just telling me you planned this entire date. Now you're admitting you have no clue.
Do you remember earlier in the season when we had the this date is this person's date? Like, this is Ben Hagen's date. This season is a dumpster fire.
I think part of the reason that you didn't feel any chemistry could have been clouded by the fact that she had to bathe in milk. That honestly might have just
impossible.
And I will say, if anybody knows any Pennsylvania Dutch, Amish, or Mennonite, please contact me trying to book one for a podcast.
Yeah. You didn't think this was hot? I thought she looked so hot with all that butter all over. I was really turned on.
I didn't say I wasn't turned on. I'm just saying she might have been uncomfortable.
I think she was right at home.
Pat.
Yeah.
You rubbing butter all over people?
I thought it looked hot.
All right. I think the reason that this isn't going to work out, honestly, is because of those pesky kids. At this point,
her students.
I'm thinking when he sends her home, he's going to say, "I'll never be fucking interrogated by a bunch of children ever again. Don't ever fucking do that to anyone ever again. And tell the one who asked me about trust or whatever,
inspiration,
to jump off a fucking bridge." Okay.
That little bitch.
Okay. They have a good time shoving their feet in oatmeal.
The child, not Michelle.
Right? Yeah, so post-spa, they talk of little reminders and of staying in love. And I can't put too much stake in this conversation or really pay attention to any of it.
I thought it was refreshing because we've seen how many fake conversations that really took place under Ari Lyondike's season. It was just like, I like that. They never really talked, but they're actually, because Matt brings up his dad being a cheating bastard and how it fucked him up. Yeah. And Matt says, "I'm not going to be my dad." Well, we'll see.
No, it is cute. You do have to do little things to just remind one another that you chose each other for a reason, that you love each other. We are emperor penguins. We will stand at the North Pole, bitter cold for one another. That's what marriage is. It's very cute. So anyways, should we get to the night date?
Night date!
We got another turtleneck. We got another conversation about his mother and father and all that yummy, yummy pain. And then proceeds to talk about her two-parent privilege and tells them, look, knowing what you don't want is just as helpful as experiencing it, you know? People with hands don't know how good they've got it. You talk to a guy who's got to jack off with his feet, you know what I mean? What? What?
No, you're right.
Matt pulls the date card out like Quagmire.
Call it the bang card.
I'm not going to do that. It's very sneaky, very creepy.
He's still kissing with his eyes open too.
But the most important thing is we've got a pretty big caliber bomb dropped here at the dinner table.
Oh, you want the status?
Spoiler alert.
Always very It's been very anticlimactic.
All right, she drops the love bomb on him. She says,
that wasn't dropping. That was a bomb that was in a
like
stationary bomb that went off.
That was a bounce.
You had to be closer to the point of explosion. She says she's in love with him after 2 weeks of dating him.
Yep.
I need a... That's dropping.
All right, I'll work on it.
Please do. So, she says, I'm so relieved that I said I love you to Matt in an OTF. Because when I did, I heard Mickey tell the producers to free my family. No, I'm kidding. We cut back to the house, and Rachel is very sad about this whole thing.
Well, they're contemplating Michelle getting fresh dick. He's
sorry, Tom.
The first overnight. You don't want it the third one.
I would just, shut up, right? You matcha drinking white devil. Shut your mouth. You know where you're coming on. It's The Bachelor. Next morning. He's on a happiness level of 11 out of 10. I hate to veer into Pat's lane, but I've written that this probably means that she performed oral sex on him.
Nope, Dylan, they fucked. Obviously, I could smell his balls through the TV. Sometimes you can just, I don't know, maybe it's a feeling.
God.
Technology is moving too fast.
Yeah. Guy Fieri always talked about smell-o-vision. I didn't think that it would apply itself first here.
The way they were glowing and looking at each other, they might have even had anal. Who's to say?
Smell-o-vision actually seems pretty easy if you were trying to wrap your mind around it now with some of the things they can do.
Yeah, a lot of things would spoil in the back of the television, I think.
Artificial ingredients.
It's still good.
Pumping you with chemicals.
Half-life.
Can't be safe.
So she leaves. He screams her name and then says nothing after she turns around. It was almost like a prank. Let's get to Rach, and her nausea continues. She was sick to her stomach. I'll continue with my idea. Why don't you suck down another fucking matcha? Okay, you goddamn witch. I'm sorry. It's too much. Michelle is all smiles, telling the other girls about all the butter they rubbed all over each other. And Rach begins weeping. And I was thinking here, you know what she needs to do? She needs to kick the hard stuff, and she needs to switch over to Magic Mind.
Oh,
baby.
Magic Mind.
It is the cleanest, most cleanly energy that you can possibly consume. It's not like Bang or Adderall or any low-level speed type enhancement that Nick used to pop all the time. Cotton candy, watermelon buzz, sour apple pie, candy cane Bang, whatever the flavor was, Nick was on the stuff every day.
I can't speak enough towards my unhealthy relationship with caffeine. It's been an up and down journey, and Magic Mind is really helping me just level out. And the low grade anxiety, as proprietor James Bashara has said, and it just levels off.
Yeah, it levels off.
That matcha really lets it ease through the bloodstream slowly.
And we haven't even spoken of the lion's mane, but go ahead, Patrick.
I was going to say, I a little off mic. We all spent the weekend with each other watching a UFC fight.
Sure.
I pulled Nikki's girlfriend Jules aside when he wasn't in the room, and I said, hey, let me ask you. Are you guys really having sex 3 times a day? She turned to the refrigerator, and there was an empty case of Magic Mind. And she says,
you goddamn right we are. I was there too. So anyways, if you want to fuck like a king, if you want to think like a seal, if you want to think like a lawyer and or us, go to magicmind.co. Enter in promo code Bachelor for anywhere from 15 to 25% off. And also,
shout out to the baby bird that did the boomerang.
A great boomerang.
Everybody should do more stuff like that. The ones who have bought it and have not done that, get on that.
Get on it. It's tangible proof that you love us, and that makes us love you, because right now you're just a number.
right.
Okay, so also our show is sponsored by one of the most brilliant inventions since Magic Mind. It is the stove shelf. Guys, if you have a stove, a range at the house, and you're not using the full capabilities of it, it's because you don't have a fucking stove shelf. Like we said last week, If you're an Italian with a propensity to over oregano everything that you make, maybe you're of a different heritage, you have a spice that you use commonly, don't keep it in the spice rack. Keep it next to the salt, the pepper, the olive oil, the coconut oil, the butter, all of the necessary.
Hey, Dill,
even a plant.
Last week during the read, you called an Italian a dirty, filthy wop. Turns out that moves the needle a little bit. People like it. Italians, you can make fun of them. I'm
actually back off the racial grenades, though it is a fact that you can make fun of Italians now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Go deep.
What's a Mick? Is that
that's Irish. That's me.
Yeah.
You call me an Irish bug.
Yeah, those.
You call me anything. I don't care.
Yeah, those people. Lovely tradition. If you're not watching Outlander, although I think that's Scottish, you should be. But they don't cook with any spices, so This doesn't apply to them. But if you guys, spices, salts, peppers, keep it at arm's reach when you're cooking. Do it with Stove Shelf. Not only is it going to improve your culinary world, you will not experience a more satisfying sensation all of 2021 than the first time you snap those magnets onto that stove.
It's a beautiful sound.
It's a beautiful sound. It's patent pending. You can get it at stoveshelf.com. Use promo code Bachelor.
Get in before this thing is on Shark Tank, because he's doing it right. He's not going too fast, but this will be on Shark Tank.
It's going to be on Shark Tank.
He will blow them away.
Yep.
He's going to have them install it. They'll all install it. They'll snap it in. They'll feel that sensation, and you can say you had the Stove Shelf before it was on Shark Tank. It's going to be like the drop stop.
Be an early adopter. Don't be a Luddite. Go to stoveshelf.com. Use promo code Bachelor. Let's get back to the show. And by Luddite, I mean just welcome the technology into your kitchen. Okay, so let's get to Bree and the backpacking trip. This is a nod to what's going to happen in a few short days. Pack your bag, Jax, and hit the road.
Well, don't get ahead of yourself. Maybe someone didn't watch the show.
You know who was in that? Kevin Connolly.
What?
The show Elf. That's the theme song to Elf.
Okay, so pitching a tent is a real test of a relationship, because my wife and I are avid campers, and I almost slaughter her in real life every time we go camping, because she bought this 75-person motel tent. And
I always thought it was laughter.
We have to pitch it every goddamn time we go camping, but it's fine because we dropped all those L-bombs and we make it through every time. But I'm serious. This is a very, very wonderful test, though it proves to be a little inconclusive this evening, because Pat warned me about spoilies, but she packs her bags, Jack, and she hits the road. No more, no more, no more. Those are the lyrics.
This whole date is awkward, Dylan.
Yeah.
First off, I'd be remiss if I didn't say the status of how they greeted one another. We got a run and a full leg wraparound.
Got
there.
it.
I've done that.
So sorry. That's great hosting.
The audience, they can't get it out of their head and move on to what
Yeah.
you're going to say next.
They're
unless
punching
I
their window.
Especially tonight, because there's a stark contrast. Not going to get ahead of myself,
yes.
but wow, a convention-breaking maneuver from a front runner.
Hey, Rachel, why don't you go get some magic mind? Quit bumming everybody out.
Yeah.
So they talk at a fire pit. Can we get to the dinner and the sex?
Well, it was an awkward date. I'll just say that.
I don't think it was awkward. I think that it's weird. Maybe it's too friendly. Maybe he wants more like robotic energy in the person that he's going to marry, but they seem like best friends to me, but like hot best friends that want to have sex with each other, which is the foundation for every long-lasting relationship.
Sure. Well, she queries about engagement and meaning and are you going to pick me, asshole? And I got to tell you, Matt's not been really good on his feet, but he deflects this one pretty well. I forget what he said, but he basically gave a non-answer, and she seemed pretty satisfied, which is the mark of pulling something off.
Yeah.
All of them are so naive to think that the sex actually solidified their chances of winning. So they didn't need these words of affirmation.
Yeah.
They were able to look past his non-committalness.
He lived with Tyler Chill in New York City. There was a factory line of people coming in and out of that apartment. All right. So they're all smiles at the night date. Yell it.
Night date!
It's just such a hot couple. And she's so fucking down. She says that she wants to get married to him right now. And then
she says she's in love with Matt.
Thank you.
All right, so she takes the card into the boom boom room.
Yes, she does.
Okay. I would argue
You mean the fantasy
the establishment at the beginning of the show, I know I sound like a broken record, of going after his dad for being a womanizing pig. It doesn't work well when we're on number 2.
Sure.
It's such a
And then
great
he's
point.
not going to pick her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Such a great point.
Yeah.
Spare us the moral lessons, Bachelor. You're not good at it.
I learned today I'm nothing like my father. That's what he said.
Yeah.
He said that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
And then he entered the second woman who he's not going to pick. Where has Brie been all season? She's so fun. She's funny. She's gorgeous. She's been in the background this whole fucking season. It's stupid. All right. Let's get back to hotel nomenclature. And Rachel, once again, has her panties in a bunch. Quit huffing, quit puffing. Well, everybody is happy. Everybody's having a good time except for you, Sulky.
Well, I love how Bree took a shot at this just to kind of antagonize her a little bit. Rach said, "How was it?" And then Bree like flicks like a dry piece of cum out of her hair, and she says, "You tell me."
Tom.
I missed
What
that.
a jokester!
I missed that.
Hey,
Then-
me too. It's probably 2.2 times speed. I didn't get the part where she flicked the cum out of her hair. I missed that part.
She's a jokester.
I watched
All
it
right.
at regular speed.
All right, let's get to Rachel's date. Before she goes out to greet Matt, she walks off and cries. She cries. And she cries. And then she goes to meet Matt. And guys, I'm no Tim Gunn, but what is that horrendous garment she's wearing? Oh my God.
Let's just be thankful she wasn't wearing a hood and a robe. Am I right, guys? 'Cause
Oh.
she's a racist. I don't believe she is.
Oh, got it. Okay, so she says that the past week has been the hardest week of her life. Yeah, it's tough being put up in one of the most exclusive resorts on the East Coast and being fed every day. And
Well, I would have told her when she said that in the interview room. I would have said, "Oh, you just wait till February."
yeah. Are you some type of psychic in this hypothetical? What?
I don't know.
Okay, he's got a hell of an imagination. Okay, so should we get to Lauren and the metaphor that is ceramics?
Well, I should say this. Once again, you tried stepping on a very crucial
Oh,
part of
I'm
the show.
so sorry.
There is no leg wraparound. There's barely a hug. She's pretty pissed.
Yeah.
It was just she's kamikazing your chances at winning this competition.
100%.
Just put a smile on, charm us like you did. There's been a shuffling of my order of liking these women, and Bree is firmly at the top.
Oh, yeah.
Michelle's number 2, and I don't like you anymore, Rachel. And I was trying to defend you honestly, and I got shit for it.
But listen, there seems to be this pattern with front runners. There's a little drama attached to them. I think that like men and women both do this when they're starting off dating one another. You kind of inject drama into the relationship that isn't there. Now, it is inherently here because they're getting married and they've known each other for 6 weeks.
Well, they're not getting married.
But Maddie, Cassie, her,
Oh.
the people that win usually have a little bit of, there's tumultuous like angst there.
Can I tell you, what I think it might be? At some point, Matt whispers, or Bachelor or Bachelorettes have done it. It's actually been noted. Caitlin Bristow famously told the guy she was going to pick weeks in advance before picking him, he's the guy. And then she went on to bang Nick Viall the night before. And they broke up because he could never forgive her for that, by the way. Fun little story. But
she banged him twice.
Oh, that's right. But I bet Matt probably told Rachel, "Hey, you're it." And then he proceeds to start having sex with her roommates. And then that gets her all up in her head. If the unknown is there, I don't know. I'm just kind of having fun on the show. I'm kind of falling for the guy. I don't know. This is crazy. But whatever happens, happens. Not when you think you are the one that he's going to pick. And then he proceeds to do what I just said.
Well, and he's got a whiff of Mickey, too. He's like, what are you going to do?
How would
the show.
How
I
would
thought
Mickey
the
say
hat
that?
ears were a bit obvious.
Well, no. I mean, he's just diabolically confident.
I've been told I can lie to you and America will still love me.
Excuse me. It would be more like this. What are you going to do about it? But then she'd be like, why are you talking like that? Because he's
What are
not
you
a
talking
cartoon
about?
mouse that's animated and very evil and pulling all the strings of content in America.
Right.
All right. So, got to move on to ceramics, metaphor for relationships. It's really all about love and foundations. And when Lauren, the ceramics teacher and huge fan of the Grateful Dead, says, put your finger in the hole, that kind of sets Rachel off. I kind of like the move, though. Can we stop spinning fucking coffee cups and go talk to one another? Because we're going to get engaged. So enough of the, homage to Ghost. I'm done.
Well, I like how the chickens have come home to roost for this show with Matt, because finally someone comes out and really just says it. Did you bang my roommates? I mean, it's a TV show, but it's still kind of weird, isn't it, Matt?
Sure, yeah.
I mean, you fuck 2 people back to back, and now you think you're going to do a third. It's really really cruel, Matt.
Rachel's kind of like Trump in that there are these institutions of control and measure in the show, You're like, founding.
Hey, no politics.
Oh, come on.
And she also didn't build a border wall to Mexico.
Yeah, exactly.
Sick bird by me, right?
Sick bird. Sick bird. All right. So, what do they talk about? Is it just Hiroshima because of all these bombs?
Oh, yeah, right. Here we go.
Yeah, you got to pay for the video for that one. He just
Bloopers,
dropped his phone in his face. Guys, we've got bloopers.
She says she loves him.
Great bomb, man.
I've been working on it the entire episode.
All right.
We're almost at the end of the season. At our after the final rose, we can have a blooper reel. We'll hit it. Just that. Just play the audio. And
we're into subversive, medium-driven comedy. All right.
Me more than anyone.
Night date.
Night date.
They speak of guards both up and down and communication and also the past. He speaks of how he was raised and how hard that was. And she says she's not sure what he went through exactly, but she knows that it made him better and that she wants to get married to him in a couple of days. You don't even know what he's talking about. He's talking about how he has a lot of pain in his life, and you're like, I have no fucking idea what you're referring to, but let's get hitched. This show is so stupid. All right, let's get to the roses or the next morning.
Well, you forgot the fireworks happen outside, so that's supposed to let us know that he probably picks her.
It's not that I forgot it.
Right.
Fireworks are pretty symbolic in this franchise.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They symbolize something.
Yeah, like Heather got fireworks.
Oh, really?
In her season, she got fireworks with Colton.
Right.
I guess
It really cements a legacy.
Yeah, I guess it means you're a stalking psychopath.
Okay.
All right, rose ceremony.
Rose ceremony. So, do we want to do a roll call here?
I would love one.
Yeah, it's going to be the
Winding
second.
now.
It's the penultimate row.
Can you believe it? I actually thought this would be a struggle for me seconds ago, but I think I can get it now.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll call. Here's who's on the dais. We got Michelle, the hot teacher, who I really, really like. We got Bree, who's too good for Matt. And finally, we have Rachel.
The Grand Wizard of this whole thing.
Exactly. And they're all in very handmade Maiden's Tale, all in black dresses.
Oh, got it. Of Matt 1, of Matt 2.
Were you doing Dr. Seuss?
No, that's okay.
Of Matt
Michelle goes first. Michelle gets the rose first. Again, I'm blown away. I really don't think that there's nothing here. And then Rachel. And I'm thinking, Bree?
You're sending Bree home.
You're sending Bree home. What are you thinking, you moron? Guys, let's hashtag it. Come on, ABC. Do it, babe. Make Bree the Bachelorette. Put it on a t-shirt.
Bree for B.
Oh, nice.
No, it's hashtag come on, ABC. Do it, babe. Make Bree the Bachelorette. I said the hashtag, and then I don't know what.
Oh, now I'm torn. Which one's better?
That's the one I said is better.
It is.
Hashtag come on, babe.
It is. But just as a marketing ploy,
So
we can release 2 at a time.
Okay.
I will say this. Bree appears to not really care, given this devastating news. She doesn't cry.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
she says
She's a tough cookie.
she's a tough cookie, that
Tough cookie.
Say yours one more time.
It's a hashtag come on, ABC. Do it, babe. Make Bree the Bachelorette.
Yours is
47
better.
characters.
Yours is better. I like hashtag come on ABC. Do it, babe.
Do it, babe. Make Bree the Bachelorette.
No, yours was
It's all good.
hashtag
It's
Bree
all
for the
good.
B.
Every word is used there. I love
All
it.
right, guys, that is it for us. We will be back next week for Matt sitting on a curb saying, I don't know if I can do this. Then he'll pick Rachel.
And that's it, right? 3-hour finale, I
Next
believe is
week's
what's
it.
happening.
Next week's it.
That's right. Chris will be stepping away from his roles as
Whatever he does.
Yeah, whatever he does. MC of this entire charade.
He is going to take a 180-minute timeout, and then he will be back on the next season.
Sorry, everybody. Remember, the show's for white people.
Right. Hey, I got to say, I'm burned out on this, so I could use a 6-week break. But that doesn't mean I don't like coming in here and having fun talking about stuff with you guys.
It's my favorite part of the week.
Not me. Well, I have a kid. My favorite day of the week is Friday.
Why is that?
I go to the park.
Are you being very lame right now?
Oh, okay. Sorry. So go over to patreon.com/another podcast network and give us $5 now. Don't wait till next week or 2 weeks out. What we've seen with Below Deck is I was threatening that group over there, the Barnacles, for a month, right? And then now, after we've been gone for 2 weeks, they finally made the revelation. My life cannot be without these guys. I need to give them $5.
Caution, 15-mile-an-hour sharp turn up ahead. You're going to bang a left, and we're not going to fucking be there. So if you want to hear us, go to patreon.com/another podcast network. Another Podcast Show is the greatest work that we do. I mean, there are a lot of shows out there. This is another one. It's a new tagline I'm working on.
It's all right.
But anyways, stop it. It's a show where we gab, goof, and jibber about whatever we want. We've talked about Pat's days and insurance and not being able to tell people that they had AIDS on the phone. I mean, there are a lot of really great stories. Nick's going to eat the meat mountain this week from Arby's. I mean, guys, it's highbrow. It is intellectually rewarding, and it's at patreon.com/another podcast network. Also, combat the people who are drowning themselves in haterade. We are at 4.5 stars. We need you to get in there and help us. At 5, walk away, or hit 5 and leave nice words. If you're going to leave 1, put a fucking name on it. Facebook, join us there. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Pat, say goodbye.
Later.